Hello and welcome to ATech. My name is Akshay and we are back with the next part of this tutorial series, that is C# tutorial for beginners, and today we will learn what are the operators in C#. So we will see various types of operators that are used in C#, that are often used in C#. Okay. First there is an assignment operator. Okay. Second, that is arithmetic operators. Third, that is relational operator, also called as a comparison operator. Okay. And fourth, that is conditional operator. Fifth, that is cast operator. Okay, so if you recollect from my previous video, in that video I have told you that there is a casting operator we use to convert one type into another. Okay, so we will see that in action today, so don't worry. And sixth, that is ternary operator. Seventh, that is null collapsing operator. Okay, so these are the various operators that we will be discussing, and I will explain all these in today's tutorial. Okay, and let's just directly see them in action. So let's just switch to Visual Studio for that. Okay, here it is one console application, simple console application as always. Okay, I don't need these extra namespaces, so that's why I have deleted those. Okay, so first, that is assignment operators. So basically they are the very simple operators. We use assignment operators to initialize our variables. Okay, and nothing more than that. So let's just quickly see one simple example. Let's say this is one variable of type integer and we are using this equal to operator. So this is one assignment operator, that is equal to operator, and if I store 20 in it, and okay, and let's just print that number to the console to see only if it is really getting stored into that variable or not, or nothing. Let's run this project. Okay, so we are getting our output. It is nothing but a simple assignment operator that we can assign any value to the variable by using this equal to operator. Okay, there are other assignment operators as well, like plus equal to, like minus equal to, like multiplication equal to, and as well as divide equal to, and so on. Okay, so but I will show you some of them. Okay, so for example, this plus equal to operator, what it will do for that, now we have this variable a is equal to 20. Let's just take another variable. Let's say we are taking int b, and let's just assign 50 to that. Okay, and now what I will do, I will type this b and I will use that plus equal to operator. Okay, and I will put a here. Okay, and now I will print this b. Okay, and I will show you what it will print. It will print the addition of that two numbers. It will print the addition of that two numbers. Okay, we will see why. Okay, it is printing 70. So basically what's that plus equal to operator does, it is nothing but doing something like this. Okay, so this is something like this. If I use one integer result equal to b plus a, and I will get this result as well, and I will print that too. Let me just take another console write line. Okay, and I will print that result as well. So this is nothing but, okay, but let me take that line before this, and I will tell you the reason why I am doing it, so why I am doing that. Okay, because this is already containing this b, containing the addition of these two numbers, so that is why I have to take this here. Okay, and I will show you that, don't worry. Okay, it is printing 70. So this plus equal to operator is nothing but doing something like this only, b plus a, but at this time, but here it is storing b plus a into the b. Okay, so if you understand, it is doing something like this. If I don't do something like this, then what I can do, a plus b, and it is storing the addition of these two numbers into b itself. So instead of doing something like this, what we can do, we can use this plus equal to operator. So that is nothing but a syntactical sugar for that addition. Okay, and similarly minus equal to, multiplication equal to, and divide equal to, so that are all the same operation that will perform, and those are the syntactical sugar for multiplication, addition, and subtraction as well. Okay, so here we have seen that is assignment operator. Second, that is the arithmetic operator. Okay, again the same example we can use. We have arithmetic operation. We have arithmetic operators like plus, minus, multiplication, divide, modulus. Okay, and I will show you what modulus does. Okay, so don't worry about that. Basically modulus also called as percentage sign. Okay, percentage operator. Okay, so that I will show you, but let me show you that first. One example of divide. Okay, we are dividing b by a. Let me take that even number. Okay, so that will be very simple. Okay, and I will print. Okay, and before that, let me just get rid of this line from here. We don't need this, and now I will print. Okay, so what result it is giving us? That is this 20 divided by this 60. It is giving a 3. It is giving 3 as an answer. Now, what is the difference between this divide and modulus? So that we will see. Let me take another int result 1 maybe. Result 1 maybe. Okay, and instead of divide, instead of this using this divide operator, I will use modulus operator, and what that returns, we will see that. Okay, so we will return that as well. That is result 1. Okay, so for the sake of simplicity, I will write here division, and here modulus operation maybe. Okay, and now I'll print this. Okay, so that modulus operation is giving us 0 and this division operation giving us 3. So what is that? When we divide one value from another, then that operation gives us the quotient. Okay, and what this modulus gives us? This gives us remainder. If you guys know what is quotient and remainder, when we divide two values, then quotient is what we always get on the top of that division. When we used to learn division in our early days, when we were in 7th or 8th standard, okay, so at that time, what type of division we used to do? We were used to draw some division. So we used to draw something like this. Okay, if I want to divide 20 by 10, okay, so we used to do something like this. Okay, and whatever value that will come here, that is 2, if I divide 10 by 2, okay, if I divide this 10, okay, sorry, if I divide this 20 by this 10, then 10 to that 20, and what will come here? Okay, that is 20, so that is 10 to that 20, and whatever we get here, that is a question, that is a remainder. So this is nothing but this is nothing but a remainder. Okay, and this is nothing but quotient, this. So whatever we got up here, this is quotient and this is remainder. So this is a very basic thing, this is a very basic maths, but still I wanted to show what that modulus operation gives us, so that's why I have demonstrated that. So just keep in mind this modulus operation gives us remainder, and this division operation gives us quotient. Okay, so that is the difference, and this is the basic. And there are also multiplication as well as plus operators, as well as minus operator. So basically, all of them are used to perform arithmetic operations, and those are called as arithmetic operators. Okay. Also, there are operators, that is plus plus and minus minus. And I will show you why. These operators are used. Okay. Now, let's say we have take this integer a variable, okay, and we have assigned 20 as here, and we have assigned 20 as value to this a variable. And now what I will do, I will print this a onto the console, but something like this, a plus plus, not after this, but before this. Okay, that is plus plus a. And now I will run this, and it will give us a result, that is 21. Okay, so what that plus plus operator does, it just increment the value by 1. Okay, and now why I have print that before this a and not after this? Because if I do so, it will give us a 20 only. And why, I will show you. Okay, so it is giving 20 because we are increment this a after it is getting printed onto the console, and after that it is getting incremented. And now if you again print that a, you will find the result that will be 21. Okay. Now if you understand, we have printed this a onto the console, and then it is getting incremented, and now if I print that again, now it will give us a 21. Okay, like that, 20, and after that is 21, because we have incremented that by 1 by using plus plus operator. And similarly, there is a minus minus. So if I do something like this, okay, so it is printing that 20 number, that is a, and after we have decremented that using minus minus, and on the second line we are printing that number, so it is giving us 19. So that are the arithmetic operators basically. Okay, so those are the arithmetic operators. Third, that is relational operator. So why we use them, we will see. So basically, by using those relational operators, we can use them in if condition, or maybe while conditions, to check whether the condition is true or false. And there are number of conditional operators basically. Sorry, relational operator basically we can use. Let's say if I use this if, let me take one variable first. Let's say int a is equal to 20, and what I will check, and let me take another variable, okay, and int b equal to 10. Okay, and now I want to find out if these two numbers are equal. Okay, so how can I do that? There are relational operators, that is comparison operators also we call them. So by using them, there is equal to operators, and if I have to find if this a is equal to b, then I can use something like this, a equal to b, and if it is true, basically that returns Boolean value. So all these comparison operators will return true or false only, that is Boolean value. If it is true, then it will return true, otherwise that will return false. So if it is true, I want to print, let's say console dot write line and true. Okay, if it is, or let's say I want to print correct maybe, and if not, I want to print incorrect. And let's say which one line will be printed onto the console. Okay, so that's printing incorrect, because we know A is not equal to B. A is 20 and B is 10. So that is why it is coming out of this block and it is printing this else block print statement. Okay, that is incorrect. Now if I would have taken this as a 20, then it might have print, then it will be print. That is correct. Okay, so that's how we can check if two values are equal using this equal to operator. That is one of the comparison operator, that is or also called as relational operator. So just like equal to, if I use not equal to, that is this is a not operator, so we will see that in one of the operators. Okay, so this is not equal to B, and if it is so, then print correct, otherwise incorrect. Okay, so we know that is not correct, because A is not equal to, because A is equal to B. Okay, so it is printing incorrect, because this A is equal to B, that is A is also 20, B is also 20, so not equal to B, that will return false. So that's why that will come here and it is printing that incorrect. So similarly there is greater than option. Okay, so if A is greater than B, then return true, otherwise it will return false and that will return incorrect. So in this case A is not greater than B. Okay, so we will see that. Let's just take 50 here. So obviously A is not greater than B, so it will return incorrect. Okay, it is returning incorrect. And similarly there is less than operator, and also we have less than or equal to operator as well as greater than or equal to. So what this less than or equal to will do, it will check if this A is less than this B or maybe equal to B. Okay, so one of these option, so one of these condition can be true, that is if it is either less than this B or it is equal to B. Okay, so now for that we will take 20 and it will return true, so it will return this line. Okay, that is correct, so it will return correct, because maybe it is not less than B but it is equal to B. Okay, so that is correct, it is returning correct. So it will choose either condition, that is less than or equal to. So those are basically relational operators, also we call them as comparison operators. And now fourth, that is conditional operators. Now why we use conditional operator? To check if more than one conditions are true. Okay, so how that we can do? Or maybe we want to choose either of them condition. Maybe if we want to choose a condition between two conditions, or maybe we want to see if either of the condition is true, that is between two conditions. So that's also we can do by using this conditional operator. So how, I will show you that. Okay, so for that let me take another two variables. Let me take C equal to 10 and let me take int D. Okay, and let me take 10 here. Okay, another 10, and now I want to see if this A equal to, and I want to print correct if both these conditions are true. That is what, if this A equal to B, and for that we use double and C is equal to 10. Okay, so if both these two conditions are true, then and only then I want to print this correct. Okay, so we will print that. Okay, so that is printing correct. Okay, so now if either of these two conditions may have not been correct, then it would have go there, that is in else block, and it would have print this incorrect. Okay, so for that let me take this B as 10. Now we know this C equal to 10. Okay, but this A is equal to B, it is incorrect, because we know this B is 10 and this A is 20. So both these conditions are not true, only one of them is true. So that is why it is return false. It will return false and it is giving that incorrect. Okay, And similarly, there is one operator that is OR operator, and we denote that by double OR. Okay, so that is double pipe. So this is nothing but a pipe, a single pipe, and we are putting double pipe there, and this is nothing but an OR operator. Now this will print this correct option. Why? Because what this OR operator checks if either of these two conditions are true. Okay, so any one of them, if any one of them condition is true, then it will return true and it will print that correct. Okay, so now we know only this condition is correct and not, and this correction is and this condition is incorrect. So though it will print true, though it will return true, and it will print that correct, because it will check only either of them is correct. Okay, so it is printing that correct. Now again there is one operator, that is this NOT operator in this conditional operators category. We will see that. So now we know this is returning true, but intentionally we want to reverse that result. So at that time what we can do, we can use this NOT operator and we can put that whole condition into another parenthesis, and now we know this will return true, but as we have put that NOT here, it will return false. So to reverse the condition, we can use that NOT operator. Okay, so it is printing incorrect. So to reverse operation also, and it is one of the conditional operator as well. So we know that was returning true, and if it would have returned true, then it would have print that correct. But now we are reversing that true by using this NOT operator, and now it is giving false. So that's why that went to this else block, and that have printed this incorrect. Okay, so that are the conditional operators. Now we have already discussed what is this cast operator, but let me show you that again. Now at the time of type, when we have learned data type convergence in C#, so at that time I have shown you how we can convert one type to another, and that time we have to use that is cast operator. And there are another ways also to convert types, but there is also we can use a casting operator, and how that we can do something like this. We know this is an integer variable, and let's say this is a float variable, and we want to assign this float variable to this integer. Now we know for that we have to explicitly cast that, and we have learned that in a previous video. If you guys not aware of that, then please check that video first. Okay, so in order to understand this better, and now we have to cast that, and that's how, by using this casting operator and putting that type into that in between that casting operator, we can store this float value to this int variable. Okay, and we can print that console.writeLine, that is b, we can print. Okay, and it will print that value. Okay, it is printing 20. So that's how we can use this cast operator. Now what is ternary operator? So for that, let's just see one example. And we have taken one example, that is, there is one example we have taken just before. Okay, that is this operation, that is this example. But let me simplify that. Okay, let me get rid of this, and let me only put one condition there, that is a equal to b. If that is so, then just we are printing correct, and we are printing incorrect if it is false. Now instead of doing something like this, and we know this is so much of a code, to reduce this code, what we can do, we can use ternary operator. And how that we can do, I will show you that. Instead of this, what we can do, we can take one int result, only one line of code we have to add here. Okay, so let me take one boolean type. Okay, boolean check. Okay, and we can use this a. If this a equal to b, then print correct, then print true, otherwise print false. So that is also a way we can write that down in a single line. So what basically it is doing, and let me print that to the console so you will understand it better. Console.writeLine. Let me take that, type that correctly. Write line, okay. And if I put that check here, and now if I will print that, it will return false. Okay, it is returning false. So what basically it is doing, it is nothing but a syntactical sugar for that if else condition. This is a conditional operator. What this denotes, so whatever before this is a condition. If it is true, then this is the value which we put after this question mark, and this is the else condition which is we put after this colon. So this is nothing but a ternary operator we can use. Now there is a last operator, that is null collapsing operator. So when we have learned types in C#, at that time I have shown you what is nullable type. So if you recollect, if we want to store null to this value type, it will give us an error, okay. But how we can do that? By making that type a nullable, like this. Like this. If I make that a nullable, now if you guys not aware about nullable types, then please check that video to understand this better, because I will be not repeating that here, because what is the nullable types. So that will be very bigger that will be very bigger concept then, okay. So now we know we have to put, if we want to put null into the nullable into the value type, then we have to make that as a null. So now what I want to do, for what is the null collapsing operator, that is denoted by this double question mark. So this is nothing but a null collapsing operator, and why we use that, I will show you that. For that, let me give one example. Okay, now we know we have this integer variable, and by putting this question mark here, we can store null value to this. And now if I store null to this, and in the console operation, what I want to check, if this null a is null, then I want to print that value, otherwise I want to store the default value to it, okay. So how we can do that? If I do something like this, a question mark 0, so what it will return, and what it will print 0. How I will show that? Okay, so it is returning that 0. Now what is this basically doing? It is checking if this a is null, then print this 0, otherwise print this a. So basically what it does, if the first value is null, then it will print the second value which is after this null collapsing operator, otherwise it will print that left hand side value, okay. So those are the all operators that we use in C#. So there are many other operators we can use in C#. There are bitwise operators, there are shift operators. So but as a beginner, these are the enough operators we should know at this stage. And if you want me to explain those operators as well, then please feel free to comment in the comment section below, and I will make video on that too. But till then, these are the operators that are often used in an application, and as a beginner, you are it is enough to know these many operators. Okay, so let's just quickly see summary. Assignment operators are used to initialize variable of specific types. Arithmetic operators are used to perform arithmetic operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, etc. Relational operators are used to compare two values and also called as comparison operators. That we have also seen, and everything we have seen in the today's video tutorial, okay. This is nothing different, only a summary, okay. So conditional operators are used to check if the condition used in the program are true or false. Cast operator is used to convert one data type to another, that we have seen. Ternary operator is basically a syntactic sugar for if else blocks, okay, that we have just seen, and can be used to reduce amount of code written, okay. So that is, if you write this ternary operator code, then instead of that if else block and so many code, you are writing down in the single line itself, okay. So that is reducing amount of code we have written. And 7, that is null collapsing operator, returns the left hand side value if the value is not null, otherwise it will return the value to the right hand side of an operator, that we have just seen, okay. So that's it for today, and We will meet soon in our next part of this tutorial series. Until then, stay tuned and thank you.